League. It's been a minute. We apologize for not posting last week. Had some things going on around the CASA that kept us from being able to post last week. But we're back. And in that hiatus, baseball was busy, very busy, and so we have a lot to talk about tonight. If it sounds like we're rushing, it's just because we're trying to get as much time as we can in the time that we have scheduled in our lives for this. So we're gonna get off to the races. Okay. First of all, how you been?
I've been good. Just got back to work today, so I'm sore right now.
Gotcha. Uh, let's see. Uh, College baseball is kind of coming to an end now. That conference play will start soon. We have people coming out as conference champions. Them Jack State Gamecocks got conference champions. So props to Jack State for that. So let's get into it. Looking at the International League first. We're gonna talk about the teams. If you first of all, dude, I'm way out of it. Little breakdown of the show. We're gonna go through each major. I don't want to say divisions, but leagues. Between your AAA, your AA, your high A, and your single A. We're gonna break down each. I want to say divisions. Really, we'll go divisions. Talk about teams that are how they're looking right now and things like that. So and then also go through some players of the week that have been named players of the week. So starting off first, we're going to start in the International East. As of today, May 11th, Worcester now has a 1-game lead over Scranton. Scranton Wilkes-Barre. When I can get my computer to work, there we go. They got a record. Worcester has a record right now of 21-16, with a 1-game lead over the 20-17 Wilkes-Barre. Right now, Scranton's sitting in third place of the East with a game and a half back of Worcester. Worcester, Scranton, and Syracuse have kind of been sitting at the top of this division the entire time. The last time we talked 2 weeks ago, Lehigh Valley was up there too. But they have fallen off in a bad way. Did you see this?
No, I haven't really had time to pay attention to
They are on
minor league baseball.
a huge skid right now. Lehigh Valley has lost 7 of their last 10 games. They're 3-7 over their last 10 games. They lost their last 2 games of the series this past weekend, and they fall hard. They're the third worst team right now in the East after 2 weeks ago being atop the East Division. Worcester and Scranton are kind of are going to sit at the top majority of the year, I think. Syracuse is literally right there in contention. They decide when they want to be good and when they want to be bad, in all seriousness. Our series to watch this week for the East is going to be Scranton, who's the number 2 team in the East, versus Syracuse, the number 3 team in the East. They go beat each other up in Scranton over the next 6 games. While I don't want to say Worcester has an easy series, but they do play this week against Buffalo. So moving into the International League West, the Memphis Redbirds are still sitting atop the International League West, as well as the International League altogether. If you haven't been paying attention, the top 3 teams in the West are probably the best 3 teams in the entire International League, I would say. And that's not being biased, being Cardinal fans. That's just what record shows. I'll give you this stat for example, okay? Are you ready for this? In the top 4 teams in the East, only 2 have positive run differentials, and that's Syracuse and Scranton. In the top 4 in the West, all 4 in the West have a positive run differential, and that's Memphis, Gwinnett, Louisville, and St. Paul. If you're betting on minor league baseball, first of all, you need to check yourself, because who's doing that? But I have a feeling the International League champion's going to come out of that West this year.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the dominant division within the International League.
Yeah. I don't know when they play, but when that Memphis Gwinnett series happens, that's going to be a absolute barn burner. Both teams are going to come out of that series with some black eyes, playing against each other. So the series to watch right now for the International League West this week is going to be St. Paul, who is the number 4 team in the West, versus Columbus, who is the number 6 team in the West. That's Cleveland's AAA team. Those 2 teams are only split by half of a game, believe it or not. And on top of that, St. Paul's kind of making a climb quickly. They were 8-2 over the last 10 games. So can they keep the hot streak whenever Columbus comes and visits them at home, which ironically enough, you ready for this? St. Paul actually has a losing record at home this year, and also struggle against plus 500 teams. They're 2-9 on the year. So you have a plus 500 team, and St. Paul's playing at home. So this would be the series, in my opinion, for them to change the narrative that's been set so far for them.
I don't know why. I could barely understand you.
Was I glitching or what?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Do I need to go over that? What all did you get?
Oh my gosh.
Am I still glitching?
Yes.
This Wi-Fi at my house sucks.
Get new Wi-Fi. Also, you're wondering about Memphis and Gwinnett.
Yeah.
They play July 7th through the 12th in Gwinnett.
Oof. That'd be a good one. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and reset what I said before. The series to watch right now for the West this week is going to be St. Paul versus Columbus. St. Paul is 8-2 over their last 10 games, but they have a half game lead over Columbus. The other thing to note too, St. Paul has a losing record this year at home. That's number 1, and number 2 is they're 2-9 against teams over 500, and Columbus is a over 500 team, and the series is in St. Paul. So this is the week St. Paul can rewrite that narrative of struggling at home this year.
It's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, for St. Paul, it's not looking good to start off the week. So, your players of the week in the International League, we start off with RJ Schreck. This dude has been ripping the ball to start off May. He's got 17 RBIs. He's got 2 home runs so far this month, only 7 strikeouts, and has an average over his last 10 games of a .455 average. So, dude has been crushing the cover off the ball. And this is a guy that, he played for Team Israel in this past World Baseball Classic, and has been just really on the cusp of making, on the cusp of making the MLB. He played in the MLB back in 2024 and has just been teetering on it. and he's given him a reason to call him back up. That's for sure.
I mean, yeah, if he can keep doing what he's doing.
We move to pitcher of the week, which is Aaron Sanchez for the Omaha Storm Chasers, Kansas City's AAA team. He pitched on the 9th, which was Saturday, against the Indianapolis Indians. Are they still called the Indians? I thought they were.
Yeah, they're still called the Indians.
Okay, good. He went 6 innings with 1 hit and 8 strikeouts. He only had 1 walk that game too. And this is a dude that's been struggling so far this year. He's got an 0-4 record with a 7.11 ERA. So, the whip's not bad, but that's definitely a start to change that narrative that's kind of been set so far early in the season. So, moving to the Pacific Coast in the West, to nobody's shock, Sacramento still sits at the top with a record of 20-17. By the way, this starts a trend I want you to pay attention to. Okay, for the listeners and you, Eli, I want you to catch this. Okay, all right. So Sacramento, which is San Francisco's AAA team, they're the top of the West right now with a game lead over Las Vegas. They're 4-6 over the last 10 games, but Las Vegas is 3-7 over the last 10 games. They went on a 3-game skid to end their series last weekend. In the East, we have the Albuquerque Isotopes leading the entire Pacific Coast Division as well as the East. They have a 2.5 game lead right now over the 20-18 Oklahoma City. Where are they? Are they the Dodgers? I know they're the Dodgers AAA team, but aren't they the Dodgers? Like, isn't that their team name?
I can see.
Okay. But they're 8-2 over their last 10 games. They're on a hot streak, and that's a young group of the Comets. You're right. But that Albuquerque team is young, and so it's nice to have a lot of youth on your AAA team whenever your MLB team is kind of struggling. You know. Series to watch this week in the entire Pacific Coast. We get spoiled by Albuquerque playing Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City this week. Oklahoma City travels to Albuquerque, and they have a 7-game series. Believe it or not, both teams have a 500 record when it comes to Albuquerque being home and Oklahoma City being away. Now, Oklahoma City does struggle against plus 500 teams. So, again, another chance, another week for these teams to rewrite that narrative that they struggle against good teams. Because how do you expect to win a championship if you can't beat plus 500 teams? You know.
Yep.
I feel like I've been talking too much. Do you have anything you want to say?
Dude, when I say I haven't, this past week, I've not been paying attention to minor league baseball at all.
I guess I've had an excuse as to why I've watched so much minor league baseball, don't I?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of late nights recently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your players of the week. And this is for the player of the week. This is a guy that's getting hot right at the right time. And if he keeps playing like he's playing, I think I think the Athletics will call him up. It's Henry Bolt, for the Las Vegas Aviators. He has 5 home runs so far in the month with 13 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, 6 stolen bases, believe it or not, and he's hitting .595 so far this month. Here's the real thing. Okay, you ready for this? He had 2 games this past series against, let me check and see who they played. I think that's St. Paul, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Let me double check. Yeah, St. Paul. In their series against St. Paul, Bolt had 2 games where he went 5 for 5. He had one game where he had 15 total bases, and another one he backed it up the next day with 13 total bases. He has 47 total bases on the month so far. Again, another guy that's showing he can hit the ball. Call him up. So, your pitcher of the week is Logan Giuseppe from El Paso with the San Diego organization. Now, he is a relief pitcher, but he's had 4 appearances so far this year. In those 4 appearances, he has a 0 ERA. He's pitched 6 1/4 innings. He has, let me see, he has 4 strikeouts so far through 4 games. So a relief arm that, in all honesty, you keep throwing like that, yeah, you're going to find yourself in the bullpen in San Diego, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to go pitch in San Diego.
Probably about the most, one of the more pitcher-friendly ballparks.
I don't know. Did you see that home run Jordan Walker hit this weekend in San Diego?
It's because it's Jordan Walker.
I'm just saying the ball flies there. The ball
That's because it's Jordan Walker
there.
and he just caught one.
It's flying. Moving to the Eastern League in the Northeast Division, New Hampshire is still leading the way with a 4-game lead right now over Reading. They're sitting at 19-11. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games, and they have a plus 54 run differential. Yeah, that's going to win you a lot of games when you have a run differential like that. Moving to the Southwest, and you said your classic Eli term. What did you say?
What?
What did you say when I said that they had a plus 54 run differential?
Golly.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to back this up with this. All right, and I want to sit and talk about this team for a second.
Oh, gosh.
The top of the Southwest Division in the Eastern League right now is the Richmond Flying Squirrels, San Francisco's AA team. Now, for you counting at home, how many San Francisco teams is that now that sits atop of their division? You want to answer for them, Eli?
2.
Okay, thank you. Keep that count going for right now.
Oh, gosh.
They have a 7-game lead right now over Harrisburg, who sits in second place. They have a 14-game lead right now over Altoona, who sits in last place. This Richmond team has a record of 25-7. They have a winning percentage of .781. They're 7-3 over their last.
Altoona just needs to pack it up.
You said that all year about them.
I'm sorry. They have that. This year has been a struggle.
It has. This Richmond team,
I mean, we're in May and we already need to be hitting the panic button.
This Richmond team has a run differential of plus 77. Okay. They're 16-2 at home. They're 9-5 away, and they're 11-3 versus over 500 teams. Okay. Now they have an easy week this week, I would say, or not an easy week this week. I'm sorry, because they go play Erie, who is on an 8-2 over their last 10 games. Now they did lose the last 2 games of their series this past weekend, but they're turning it around their season too. But Erie's still 8.5 games out of first place in the Southwest. The series is in Erie, though, which Richmond does have a struggling record on the road. But is this team the best minor league team that we've seen, number one, ever? And number two, is it the best team we see this year?
It'll probably be the best one we've seen this year. don't know if you can say they're the best minor league team ever.
They're definitely making a case for it. I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah.
They're definitely
I don't know if I would say they're the best one.
I mean, they're making a run for it, I'm not going to lie. As a team right now, they have 35 home runs on the year. Now, first of all, nobody's talking about this, okay? But this Somerset team, the Yankees AA team right now, has 60 home runs on the year and 202 RBIs, okay? And somehow they're 5.5 games out of first place of New Hampshire. They do have a run differential of plus 26, but they suck on the road. They're 6-12 on the road. But this Richmond team has 35 home runs, 212 RBIs. They have 137 bases on balls. They have 72 doubles. As a team, they have 55 stolen bases. They're hitting 296 at a team with an on-base percentage of 381 and a slugging of 482. Like, they're putting themselves in contention for one of the best minor league teams.
They're just killing the baseball.
They're destroying the baseball. And if that's not convincing enough, let's go look at their pitching. Okay. All right. Their team ERA is a 4.42, which is not the lowest. The lowest is Akron with a 4.22 ERA. Okay. But with this 4.42 ERA, they've had 3 shutouts. They've had 10 saves over 18 save opportunities. They've given up 249 hits, 153 runs, only 37 home runs. They have 327 strikeouts as a team. Their team whip is 144, and their team average against them is 238. So you can be like, the pitching's not good, but they're backing it up with the hitting, you know? They're hitting the cover off the baseball right now.
To win right now.
Oh, I have no idea. They're probably. Hold on. Let me see if I can ask. You mean ask ChatGPT?
Yeah, because I just looked up. I just asked, who's the greatest minor league team of all time? The 1934 Los Angeles Angels. At the time they played in the Pacific Coast League, they were the affiliate for the Chicago Cubs. They were their AA team. Their record that year was 137-50.
Okay. What did you say their win total was?
137.
Okay. So right now they're projected at 108 wins is what Richmond's projected at, which would not make them, obviously, win-wise, the greatest.
They would actually fall right around 5th.
I feel like this puts them in contention for that statement of potentially one of the greatest of all time.
I think so. I think it just depends on if they can keep it up.
Yeah. And if they don't move too many people around, if the organization doesn't move too many people around, which it doesn't, but here's the thing, right? It makes you happy if you're a Sacramento fan because it just means whoever you're getting from Richmond is going to be just as good as who you're having leave you from Sacramento, you know?
Yep.
Moving into players of the week for the Eastern League, the player of the week is Brooks Brannon with the Portland Sea Dogs. He is a catcher. Right now in the month of May, he has 3 home runs, 3 doubles, 1 triple. He has 11 hits and 22 at-bats with 11 RBIs. Only 3 strikeouts. He has a 500 average, a 520 on-base percentage, and a 1.136 slugging percentage. I love catchers who rake, and this is a guy that's showing that he's raking. He's raking right now. Your pitcher of the week is Joe Whitman. Does anybody want to take a guess on what team he's from? You guessed it, Richmond.
That
So
was so enthusiastic.
he had 2 starts
That
this
was
past
so
week.
enthusiastic.
Well, thank you. He had 2 starts this week against. Let me see. Who did he? Hold on. Who did he pitch against? Against Akron this week. In game 1 on May 5th, he had 6 innings with 1 hit baseball and 7 strikeouts, and then turned it around on the 10th and had 5 innings with 3 hits and 8 strikeouts. He has an ERA so far this month of 0 over 2 starts. He's pitched 11 innings with only 4 hits given up. He has 15 strikeouts in 2 starts. The average against him for the month is .108, and he has a 0.64 whip right now. So he is mowing them down. All right. You ready to move to the Southern League, my friend?
Yep.
Okay. To nobody's shock and surprise, Chattanooga is still leading the Southern League North with a record of 21-12. I think it's ironic whenever teams have their. I think it's funny when teams have those flip records. You know what I mean? Like you could flip it either way, and that's their record.
Oh, and it's the same record. Yeah. Yeah, that's impressive.
They're sitting atop the North right now, with a 3-game lead over Knoxville. Chattanooga has been on a little bit of a skid lately, with a 4-6 record over their last 10 games. They do currently right now have a run differential of 22, but this team loves playing on the road. Right now, they're 15-6 on the road. In the South, gosh, I wish that you could have been at the Biscuit. I would if you were home this weekend, I would have had you at the Biscuit Stadium Saturday and Sunday.
Like this past weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
This I know I put it wrong on the paper on the Google Doc that we're looking at. But this series against Chattanooga that Montgomery had this weekend was absolutely like they beat each other up. They beat the crap out of each other. This past week. Let me see if I can pull up the hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the scores from everything. Sorry. Okay. So they start the series off May 5th, winning against the Lookouts 9-3. Okay. And then the Lookouts come back and beat them on the 6th, 11-1. And they beat them in a very close game, 4-3, which was extremely close. Okay. And then they have a 4-2 loss. The Lookouts win 4-2 on the 8th. And then on Saturday, the Biscuits win 8-3. But this game Sunday, the Biscuits won 7-6 with a walk-off win. And in all honesty, this series was fantastic. I mean, they split the series 3-3, but in all seriousness, they beat the absolute crap out of each other. Montgomery now takes a half-game lead over Columbus. Montgomery does go play Biloxi, and Chattanooga goes and plays Pensacola. My series of the week this week, though, is going to be Knoxville, who's the number 2 team in the North, versus Columbus, the Clinkstones, who's number 2 in the South. The game is in Columbus, or is in Columbus. Columbus does have a pretty crappy record at home at 5-10, but Knoxville also has a pretty bad, okay record on the road at 6-6. But Knoxville's on a tear right now. They're 8-2 over their last 10 games. Players of the week for the Southern League is going to be Owen Ayers, another catcher getting player of the week. Since the beginning of May, he has 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. He has 6 hits over 23 at-bats. He has a 261 average with a 393 on base percentage and a 739 slugging. He has 17 total bases since the beginning of May. He had 3 home runs since the beginning of the month. Dude's raking. He's hitting the ball well for a catcher,
Yeah, but it's like you said earlier, it's good to see catchers that are actually raking the ball.
Yeah. Pitcher of the week is Brandon White for Pensacola. He had 1 start this week against Rocket City. In that game, he had 6 2/3 innings with 1 hit. He gave up 1 walk. He had 11 strikeouts in 6 2/3. He has 18 strikeouts on the month right now. He's pitched 11 2/3 innings over 2 starts. He's got an ERA on the month right now of 2.31. But golly, 11 strikeouts over 6 2/3 innings is impressive.
That's really impressive. He must have had really good command.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Moving to the Texas League. In the North, Tulsa, the Dodgers AA team, is leading right now with a record of 20-13, and they have a game lead over Arkansas. Not Northwest Arkansas, but Arkansas, Seattle's AA team. A few weeks ago, we were talking about this Wichita team, Minnesota's AA team, but man, have they fallen hard. They're now 3.5 games out of first place. They're 4-6 over their last 10 games, and they have been on the struggle bus. They need something to turn around quickly for this team, very quickly for this team. Moving over to the South, Texas League South, or do you have something you want to say?
You got to think we're not even halfway through the season yet, so they may just have an off month, and then they'll pick it up. You know how baseball is.
They definitely had an off series with they've definitely had the past 10 games been off with a 4-6 record over the last 10 games. Midland, the Athletics AA team, is now leading the Texas League, is leading the Texas League South. That is nothing new. This Midland team is pretty solid. But man, did they not show it last week in their series. They lost the last 3 games of the series. They're 3-7 of their last 10 games. Which I think is insane that Midland still has a 3.5 game lead after going 3-7 in their last 10 games, to be quite honest with you.
But that's what you want to do as a team. You want to give yourself enough cushion where if you do have a couple of games where you slip, you're not having to.
I think it's insane that, how much of a hot start did you start whenever you can lose 7 games and still have a 3.5 game lead over the team in second place? Now, they are tied with Tulsa at the top of the Texas League altogether, but still. Your series to watch for this week, it's a battle of Arkansas. Arkansas plays who's Seattle's AA team. The second in the West plays Northwest Arkansas, who's Kansas City's AA team, the number 3 in the North. So not only is it a battle of Arkansas, it's a battle of the North Division as well, which I don't think Tulsa has any problem because they go play the struggling Springfield Cardinals this week, who are 8 games out of first place and have a record of 12-21. Your players of the week. Let me get this pulled up. Dylan Dreiling for the Frisco Rough Riders, outfielder, is your player of the week this week since the beginning of May. The reason why I'm including since May is because we didn't talk last week a lot or at all. He has 20 total bases since the beginning of May. He has 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, and he's hitting .282 so far this month. Your pitcher of the month is Josh Gross for the Amarillo Sod Poodles, the AA team of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let me pull him up real quick. He had a start against Wichita on the 6th. He went 5 innings, giving up 1 hit and 1 run with 11 strikeouts in 5 innings. Gosh, these numbers these pitchers are putting up so far this month are insane back-to-back like that.
No, I mean, yeah, to put up those numbers back-to-back, that's crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, did I do that? Did I do that wrong? Nope, I did it right. My bad. All right. Moving into the high A. Right now in the Midwest League, in the East, the Great Lake Loons, the Dodgers high A team, lead the East with a record of 20-12. They have a game and a half lead over Dayton, which is Cincinnati's AA team. West Michigan, we were just talking about them a few weeks ago, as contenders in the top of the Midwest League. This is also a West Michigan team that was, they had an insane team last year and an insane record last year. They went 0-10 over their last 10 games. They're on a streak. Are you ready to this? Of 14 straight losses.
We're going
this
the
team
wrong
is
way,
in dire
people.
need.
We are
This team's
going
in
the
dire
wrong way.
needs of a win and a good win, and it does not help that the Great Lake Loons go visit them this week for a 6-game series.
Yikes.
In the Midwest League West, Wisconsin, the Timber Rattlers are still leading the West with a record of 19-12. They have a 2-game lead right now over the Cedar Rapids. I think those are the Colonels, which is Minnesota's AA team. And Wisconsin needs to keep up this streak because Cedar Rapids closing on them quick. They're 8-2 over the last 10 games with a 3-game win streak. They go play Fort Wayne this week, which is San Diego's AA team, who's currently, they're 8-2 as well over their last 10 games, but they lost their last game. So that's actually kind of a good battle right there between the two teams this week. My series to watch right now is probably going to be that Fort Wayne Cedar Rapids series. I'm going to make the change on the fly. I had another series, but this one, looking at it, it's going to be pretty good between the Colonels and the Tin Caps. So, your player of the week for the Midwest League is Andrew Fisher, the third baseman for the Timber Rattlers. By the way, have you seen these new Timber Rattlers Brewers themes jerseys? Have you seen them?
Yes, they're really sharp.
That, like the City Connect, but that's the Timber Rattlers. It's very sharp. Extremely sharp.
They're really, really sharp.
Since the beginning of May, Fisher has 10 hits. He has 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, has a few too many strikeouts, but is hitting .286 with a .342 on base percentage and a .734 slugging, or .743 slugging. And that has been between playing Quad City and Peoria. And then Nestor Laurent is your pitcher of the week for the Dayton. I think they're the Dayton Dragons. Yep, the Cincinnati Reds AA team. He had 2 starts. He's had 2 starts over the month. His most recent one was against West Michigan. He went 7 innings, giving up 2 hits, no runs, and 7 strikeouts over 7 innings. So far on the month, he has a 0 ERA over 12 and 2/3. He has an average against him of the month of a .114 and a whip of 0.71. Moving to the Northwest League. Again, if you're keeping count for us, this is another division to keep account of. Leading the Northwest League right now is Eugene, whose high A team?
The Giants.
Thank you. They are 25-8 right now in the year with a 7-game lead over the 2 teams tied, Everett and Tri-City. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games. They have a run differential of +50. And they get to go to Tri-City and beat up on Tri-City this week. That's my series to watch this week as Everett plays Vancouver. Again, you didn't like my rant earlier this year, so I'm going to go ahead and say it again. This is why I would love an end of the season tournament with every champion, because you cannot tell me that you would not enjoy watching a 3-game series against Chattanooga and Richmond, or even Richmond against this Everett team. Like, that would be so fun to watch.
I don't know.
It would be fun. It would be a good one to watch.
It would be.
Okay. Your player of the week, I feel like you could just pick anybody for player and pitcher of the week in the Northwest League, and they should just come from Eugene. Your player of the week is Gavin Klein, the 2025 first-round draft pick for the Giants, from the University of Tennessee. Over the month of May so far, he has 15 hits over 34 at-bats, 23 total bases, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs, only 2 strikeouts on the month. He's hit .441 with a .486 on base percentage with .676 slugging. Your pitcher of the week comes from the Tri-City Dust Devils, which is the high A team of the Los Angeles Angels, and that's Nate Snead. He had 1 game this week where he pitched. Over that 1 game, he had 6 innings pitched with 6 strikeouts and no earned runs and no hits, believe it or not. No hits in that game. Moving to your South Atlantic League, the Greensboro's leading the North right now, which is Pittsburgh's high A team. They have a record of 21-12, another flip-flop record. They also have a half-game lead over Frederick, which is the Baltimore Orioles high A team. Greensboro is 8-2 over their last 10 games. They ended last week on a 3-game win streak. My computer's freezing, so give me 1 second. Moving to the South Atlantic South, Bowling Green leads the South with a record of 22-11, which puts them atop the South Atlantic altogether. They have a 4-game lead right now over Winston-Salem, who's 18-15 this year so far. Bowling Green is 7-3. Right now, your series to watch this week is going to be Frederick, which is, again, Baltimore, who's the number 2 in the North, versus Hudson Valley, which is number 4 in the North. Your player of the week is Isaiah Drake, who comes from the Rome Emperors. And this is a guy that has been needing a good week as a Braves fan. And by golly, you got it, because he has been needing one desperately. He's really been needing one this year so far. And you got it out of him this week. He had 18 hits over 14 at-bats, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, 6 doubles, 33 total bases, and 5 stolen bases. So far in the month of May, he's hit .409 with a .458 on-base percentage and .750 slugging. Sorry, I needed a drink there.
You good?
We move to pitcher of the week, which is Sean Paul Lennon. Sean Paul Lennon. I think of the early 2000s rapper Sean DePaul. He had one game this week against Winston-Salem. He had 6 innings pitched with no hits, no earned runs, and 7 strikeouts. So far this month, he only has an ERA of 1.80, with 10 innings pitched, and has 10 strikeouts on the month, and an average against him of .097, and a whip against him of 0.80. Moving into high A, and this is where it gets interesting. Okay. This is where it gets really interesting. In the California League, okay, if you look at it as a league altogether, we have 4 teams that are atop the California League. In the North, San Jose, which is whose single A team? Eli?
The Giants.
Thank you. They're tied atop the North right now with Fresno. Both have a record of 19-14. And they both have a 4-game lead right now over Stockton, who's the Athletics single A team. And in the South, the Rancho Cucamongas are 19-14, tied atop of the South with Lake Elsinore, who's the Padres single A team. Which is shocking because, believe it or not, Rancho Cucamonga has a -5 run differential. But one of these will be broken this week, hopefully, as Rancho Cucamonga goes and plays Lake Elsinore, who that is your series to watch for the week. Your player of the week in the California League is J.D. Dix, 2024 draft pick for the Diamondbacks. In his last 10 games since the beginning of May, he has 10 hits over 31 at-bats, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 stolen bases. He's hitting .323 on the month with a .475 on base percentage and a .581 slugging.
Breaking news.
Okay.
Mets are calling up their number 2 prospect, AJ Earring.
Really?
Yep.
Look at that. Breaking news. Your pitcher of the week is Tyler Schmidt, the Padres single A player. He pitched against let me see, the Inland Empire this week. He had a 6-inning outing with 1 hit, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts over that outing. So far in the month, he has a 0 ERA over 2 starts, 11 innings pitched with 11 strikeouts so far this month. So Schmidt is on really call-up watch. We're going to call that from now on. I think that's what I'm going to call it from now on.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Moving to the Carolina League, this is where we have some more movement in divisions. Fredericksburg now leads the Carolina League North after Hickory goes and gets pummeled in that series against Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg has a record of 23-10 with a 5-game lead right now over Hill City. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games a run differential of plus 86. This Fredericksburg team rakes. In the South, the Charleston Shore Dogs, isn't that their team? Isn't that their mascot?
Yeah.
Aren't they called the Shore Dogs? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay single A team has a record of 20-13. It has a 2-game lead right now over Hickory, which is the single A team for the Texas Rangers. Your series to watch this week is Myrtle Beach, which is the Cubs single A team, who's number 3 in the South, playing against the Augusta Green Jackets, the Braves single A team, who's number 4 in the North. Or they're both in the South. My bad. They're both in the South, and they're tied at 3 games back out of first place right now. And so that is your series to watch for this week. Your players of the week come from. Your player of the week is Yermini Cabrera from Fredericksburg, who since the beginning of the month has 14 hits over 29 at bats, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 3 doubles, 5 stolen bases. He's hitting 483 on the month, 564 on base percentage, and an 897 slugging percentage. Pitcher of the week is Aiden Cremosa from the Charleston River Dogs. My bad, it's the River Dogs, not the Shore Dogs. We were both wrong. That's bad, isn't it?
Dang it.
Aiden Cremosa had one start this week against Augusta where he had 1 game. He threw a complete game shutout. He had 9 innings with no hits, okay? No earned runs, and 11 strikeouts. So a no-hitter this week by Aiden Cremosa. He only gave up 1 walk, which caused him to lose. I believe that's what caused him to lose the perfect game. He has a 0.64 ERA over the month over 2 starts, 14 innings pitched. He's only given up 3 hits this month. He has 17 strikeouts on the month with and this dude is just like, call him up. Just call him up. If you do an outing like that, call him up. Even if he comes into high A and struggles, who cares? Give him the call up. Give him the attaboy call up, right?
Now that's towards the end of the season.
That's not an attaboy call up?
No.
You don't think he deserves it?
Attaboy call-ups at the end of the season.
Okay.
That's why they're called the attaboys.
All right. We move to the Florida State League, and this will be the last league that we cover. In the East, the Jupiter Hammerheads have a 19-14 record right now, with a 2-game lead over Palm Beach. Jupiter is 8-2 over the last 10 games, while Palm Beach is 2-8. They lost that lead very quickly over the last 10 games.
Don't they play each other soon?
They just played, yeah, not too far. They just played each other, believe it or not. In the West, the Clearwater, who is the Phillies single A team, leads the West right now with a record of 20-13 and a game lead over the Fort Myers Fighting Mussels, who's Minnesota's single A team. Clearwater has a record of 20-13. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games right now. Your series to watch for this league is going to be the Mighty Mussels of Fort Myers playing against the Bradenton Pirates. That is number 2 in the West versus number 3 in the West. Your players of the week, okay, is Aurelio Farabus. I believe the last time we talked about players of the week, he was one of them. Since the beginning of the month,
I believe you would be right.
He has 16 hits over 33 at-bats with 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. He's hitting .485 with a .500 on-base percentage and a .788 slugging. Pitcher of the week is Jack Anchor. Sorry, they're not the Pirates. They're the Monitors. That's my bad. Another team. God, we got to be better about this, dude. That's bad on me. That's
We're
a hand
struggling.
up on me. That's a hand up on me. Anchor had a pitch pitched on the 6th against Dundon Toronto's single A team. He had 5 innings with 1 hit, 4 strikeouts over that so far. So, I do think that is everything to catch. Are you ready for your favorite segment, sir?
It's everybody's favorite segment.
Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm gonna throw an oddity on there that is not on this, but does cover baseball. That's kind of funny. Your first oddity of the week or of the past 2 weeks. The New Hampshire Fisher Cats threw a combined no-hitter. Okay, but they weren't the Fisher Cats this night. They were their alternate identity, the New Hampshire Chicken Tenders, threw a combined no-hitter. Could you imagine being a hitter saying...
I don't mean to be mean. Could you imagine just being the team and saying, yeah, we got no hit by a team called the Chicken Tenders?
Yeah, how in the hell do you go back to your family going, yeah, we got no hit tonight. Who no hit you? The Chicken Tenders.
That's some backyard baseball. Didn't know what to name the team. We hit random and said, let's go with it.
Funny thing about this, the Chicken Tenders, the Chicken Tenders allowed 10 walks this game, which is, believe it or not, is not the highest total of walks given up in a no-hitter. I think the record is 12.
How do you give up 10 walks? First off, how does a team get 10 walks and not win the game?
Moving on to your other oddity, Yazan Sanchez of the Cedar Rapids Colonels threw an 8-pitch immaculate inning. If you don't know what an immaculate inning is when a pitcher goes out and throws 9 pitches and all of them are strikes. That's an immaculate inning with no hits, no runs, no walks. But he did it with 8 pitches.
Was one of them because of clock?
It was. The batter did not get into the box in time, and it was called for a strikeout. So, thanks to the pitching clock, we have this oddity. The last oddity to talk about.
St. Louis is moving one of their catchers up to AA.
Oh, I saw that. Is it the Bernal kid?
No. Oh, Bernal, yeah.
Yeah. He deserves it. Dude's been raking so far this year.
And then the Pirates are sending somebody from single A to high A.
All right, you ready for the second to last oddity we have for the week?
Yep.
In the Frontier League, there was an indie ball game that was played at Old Gillette Prison. A game that was played inside of a former prison, in front of 5,000 fans. Rumor is that a ball was hit into a gap, and a ghost caught the ball in left field. I'm just kidding. That did not happen. But if you don't know, if you didn't know, this place is extremely haunted.
Casper came out and said, I'm playing.
Casper came out, yeah. The last oddity of the week, Fog Gate. Do you know about this, sir? Do you know about this?
Probably by far the funniest 24-hour stretch of baseball.
Okay, let's paint the picture for you.
In recent weeks.
Let's paint the picture for you. Vanderbilt versus Missouri in Columbus, Missouri, okay? At the end of the bottom of the 8th, the field is completely, the entire field can be seen, okay? We come back from camera break, and somebody has hit either one of two things happened, okay?
Either somebody left the fog machine running too long.
Somebody left the fog machine running too long.
Or somebody copy and pasted the same cloudy image 100 times.
No, this dude hit an absolute blinker on his vape. That's what happened. Somebody hit their vape too hard and fogged the entire field.
Couldn't see anything.
Yeah, we come back from commercial break. Sorry, I was getting a drink. We come back from commercial break, and you can barely see the infielders. You can't see any of the outfielders. You can't see past the artificial turf dirt on the field. Okay?
Can't see the catcher.
Can't see the catcher. They show you the camera angle from center field. You can't see past the second baseman. You can't see the pitcher or the catcher or the hitter or the umpire behind the plate. And then when they do the camera angle behind home plate, you can't even see out the outfield in the outfield. Okay. So this is why it's called fog gate. Here's the situation. Okay. Top of the ninth, Vanderbilt comes up to bat. They were down a run?
I think so, yeah. 1 or 2.
Okay. They're down 1 or 2 runs. I can't remember. Ball is hit oppo by the guy at the plate. And nobody can see anything. Okay. All we know is this, is the ball was hit. All right. And the next thing we know, the ball is over the fence. Okay. Here's the problem the umpires have to face. Vanderbilt claims it's a home run.
Okay, real quick. So this is what it was. So, Braden Holcomb stepped to the plate. They were down by 3. He proceeded to hit a 3-run home run while Braden felt he hit the home run, and TrackMan's data supported the fact that he hit the home run.
Are you reading an article? Because this is literally what I was about to say.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. This is the problem. Vanderbilt claims it's a home run. Missouri outfielders and coaching staff, everybody on the Missouri team, is claiming it was a ground rule double. Okay? TrackMan stats back up that it was a home run. But the umpires can't see out there, so they don't know what it was. Okay? So they call the game. Did they award the home run, or they didn't award the home run?
So no. Let me explain what happened, because there's like a whole thing that happens afterwards.
Okay.
So they rule the play a ground rule double. He ties the game. So somebody went out and like walked the out like around the fence, and apparently found a baseball in the mud. Braden posted on X, no, 100% positive that ball went over the fence. The fan then replied to his comment, apparently, with the baseball. And then one of Vanderbilt's team managers is a data analyst. So he took the stats from TrackMan, like the exit velo and launch angle.
Yeah.
And literally post a picture of like 2 notebook papers full of formulas showing like how far this ball traveled.
Oh no, the funniest thing about this the whole funniest thing about all of this, okay, in all seriousness, is the Vanderbilt fan that goes out to the outfield, that grabs the baseball and is literally holding it up over the fence, like jumping up and down like it's a home run. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is they suspend the game that Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Saturday at 4, they restart the game, and everybody's wondering what this is going to be called. It's still a ground rule double. Reason being is because before the game got suspended, the umpire crew went to a video review, and because they could not tell off the review whether it was a home run or a ground rule double, it stuck as a ground rule double, because once it goes to a video review, it cannot be changed the following day.
It's crazy. It's hilarious.
Per the NCAA rules.
Quite honestly, one of the best things about college baseball this entire weekend. Oh,
I mean,
okay,
it
so
was interesting.
It was. Well, that is your episode for this week. Make sure to give us a follow on our Instagram and Around the Minor League. There you can find the links to our Apple Podcast, our Spotify, and our YouTube. Give us a follow on whatever channel you listen to us on. And then shoot us an email at aroundtheminorleague@gmail.com if you have any questions you want us to talk about or anything you want us to mention on the podcast. Am I missing anything?
No.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, you guys have a good rest of your week, and we will see you next week.